Hello everybody, welcome to Horrible Gaming. My name is Nora and on today's video we are starting a new build called Evergreen. This build will eventually have a dream address, but today we are going to be starting the entry of it. I have really no idea how I want to do the layout, but I'm just going to wing it and see where my creativity takes me, just like I usually do on all of my builds. Feel free to check out my Instagram, linked below, and also don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching and let's go ahead and get started. I also just want to let people know that my camera is zoomed out because I have a console running custom firmware and it's a camera mod that captures more of the screen. This is just ideal for builds like this so y'all can kind of see the areas better. I wanted to mod my console to help the community as much as possible, so if you're someone who doesn't support modding or like modding, that is totally okay. This is just the way that I chose to play the game because I really do want to help people get their dream islands and also have a lot of treasure islands that people can raid. Alrighty, so with that disclaimer, let's go ahead and start working on this entry. I'm definitely going to be making a little pond, and I have this code actually already in my highlights on Instagram. I used it on the old build, but I actually never ended up using it, and I avoided that build completely, so I'm really excited to be bringing this code back. I love using water codes because there's really no set way you have to place them. Obviously you want to make them look as natural as possible, but we're going to be blending out and making this feel very realistic with several different kinds of items. Log sticks are definitely a go-to when you're using water designs like this, and I'm just obsessed with log sticks in general when it comes to doing naturals, so I'm kind of biased with that information, I know, but it'll blend out this code a lot better and make it feel more realistic. I also want to set a reminder that I do live streams on Saturdays at 8 p.m. Central Time Zone, and we do Animal Crossing builds on live streams, lots of Q&A, so if you're somebody who just wants to hang out with me and get to know me as a YouTuber and streamer, definitely go turn those notifications on so you don't miss my live streams. We usually do an Animal Crossing stream on a weekend, and then the next weekend we'll do a different game that's not Animal Crossing related, but the support with those streams would mean so much as I'm transitioning from Facebook streaming onto YouTube. So the items that I'm using on this pond are decoy duck, the hedge standee, the grass standee, and mum cushion. All of these are actually DIYs, including the log sticks, so you'll be able to craft these and use these items as long as you know the DIY. So I will be planting different stage growth trees on this build. You can stop the growth of a tree by planting a fruit next to it. Doesn't matter what side you plant it on, but if you don't want to see that stem, just plant it directly behind the tree. When I do my naturals, I like to show the planted fruit because it just adds extra vegetation to the build, so that I always try to show those little plant stems just for that reason. So right now I'm just going to fill in behind the pond code with shrubs and different kinds of flowers and tree sizes to really make it feel lush and full. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and start placing my dirt path. This code is already in my code's highlights on Instagram, linked below, so if you want to use this code on your island, that's where you'll be able to find it. I absolutely love this dirt code because it feels really natural and has these adorable little green leaves on the edges, so I highly recommend this dirt code if you're going for a natural look. So you're gonna see me go around my island and pick up a bunch of weeds. This is actually a trick that I've discovered. If you want certain weeds and places to grow, you need to clean up, I don't know exactly what set amount it is, but if you clean up a few bunches of weeds on your island and then time travel or let the days pass for these weeds that you just placed to grow, they will then be fully grown in those locations where you planted them. So I'm now just going to start some terraform behind those trees so I can fill in with more trees and greenery on the second level, and then we're going to eventually add some tiered waterfalls on the end and make a little stream that we are going to be able to hop across. Again, I really have no set plan for this build, but I'm just trialing out several ideas that I have in my head. It's just if I can actually put them on the island. I always find myself struggling because I'll have like a set idea and sometimes those ideas don't always work, so then I have to come up with a new plan, and that is like the downside of winging builds all the time because usually my ideas don't always work, so I'll have to go with a plan B. But I think that this layout should work for the island. So what works best for me when I'm doing natural islands is terraforming and decorating at the same time. That way I don't have to remove any terraform to go back to fill in with greenery or flowers. It just makes it go faster. And a lot of people always ask me how I work so fast. This is just a trick that I've learned through all of my theme building. It just goes way faster when you decorate and terraform at the same time. At least for me. Now I know it's not the same for other people, but this is just what works for me. So when I do angled waterfalls like this, I always make these little miniature islands to kind of finish the terraform off. I usually do this almost on every single island that I make. I just love that I can plant a tree there and add more vegetation. It just makes it feel really full. Now you don't have to obviously do this on your recreation if you choose to recreate this build, but this is just my go-to. I am now just gonna go where the terraform is and fill in with shrubs just to make it feel more green and full. I know you really don't see these areas much, but trust me, it really does make an area feel more complete when you put that little extra effort right by the terraform. I am now going to expand the left side of this terraform so we can plant some trees on there and just finish off those waterfalls a little bit better so it's not anything harsh looking on the edges and just really nice and natural feeling. I pretty much have the base done at the entry for now, so I'm just gonna go and continue filling in with my greenery and flowers. My goal for this build is to make it a really colorful mountain core vibe, so I'm gonna be using pretty much every single color flower in the game, which is something I normally don't do on builds. I'm very specific on my colors. Usually I do whites and greens, so this is definitely out of my comfort zone, but I thought having a build with color would be a really nice change from what we normally see. I absolutely love how Mitzi has been sitting there on that mum cushion for this whole entire build. It's super cute to see our villagers use our items because normally they just don't care, and we put all this effort into an island for them and they don't acknowledge it. So when they do finally use these items, it just brings my heart so much happiness. Now, I usually have an issue where my villagers just don't leave and they get in my way when I'm terraforming, and it seems like they're behaving this build, so that's a good thing. But normally they love to sit in front of me when I'm waterscaping and then they just don't move, so I'll hit them with a net or something. I, of course, will feel bad about it, but it's like, come on, y'all know that I'm working. Why do you have to sit in front of me? So my plan for this location eventually is to have an incline go up and then a nice little river stream with an angled bridge and then some tiered waterfalls eventually going over that bridge. But we're not going to do that on today's video, but I'll be sure to post a picture of that on my Instagram once it's done. So on my last dream address, I noticed it was really hard to see and get to certain areas. So normally I would like to terraform this location, but instead I'm just going to fill it in with trees and make sure that it's easy to walk through. So that's what we're doing in this location. Just like by the terraform, we are going to be layering with shrubs and flowers to make it feel very full and lush. So where this path is, eventually I'm gonna have it lead to an incline, kind of like how my DA for Twin Falls was. I had my plaza tucked in between terraform and it just felt really mountainous, so that is definitely my plan for this build again. I am gonna layer the terraform a little bit differently, but I do want to make sure this island is just as heavily terraformed but easier to navigate. I'm now going to start a second level of terraform just to add some more trees and greenery on. I love using these cypress trees to really fill in these areas where we normally can't plant a tree in. It just really adds to the texture and it gives the illusion that there's other levels of trees planted on the cliffs. So I'm now just filling in on this level with some more trees and shrubs and flowers just to make it feel a little more full. I don't really know what my plan is yet behind on this location, but I do know I want the entry to feel very lush and very mountainous, so that is what I am doing right now. And then I'm going to decorate this second level with some shrubs and trees as well. So here is how the entry is looking. I'm very pleased with how full it looks and how green it is. My plan for this build is definitely to make it a lot easier to navigate than Twin Falls was. I'm also going to go ahead and fix a couple of flowers that I ran over and broke. but I think my general plan is to add a lot of more flower fields on this island and also just a lot of scenic areas as well. I don't really know exactly what I have planned for the island yet, but I do know I want to take this one a little bit slower just so I have an island that's easier for y'all to explore. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see y'all next video with a new build. Shout out to my Discord supporters, Emily Empress, Mamma Mia 44, Pateri, Stevie Nicks is my religion, Rin, Emla, Dramatic, Maria Lee, Nicole, Scott, and Michelle. Thank y'all again for your support.